Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. And let me say this here first off, giving honor to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who allowed us to be together, me sharing this video with y'all one more time. I got to start giving him all the honor and the praise. And I hope this video find everyone doing well and in good health and in good spirit and still keeping the faith, because all of this will be over after a while. And let us please not forget to pray for the families who has been deeply affected by this virus, losing their loved ones, and that has loved ones that's sick. Let us please keep them in our prayers, because you know, everything is not over with, and we don't know when we might be in that in the position that they are in now, and we would want somebody to pray for us, because I'm a sole believer in prayer changes thing. Okay, let me tell you what we're gonna be doing this morning, you guys. Well, this evening. I don't know why I keep saying this morning. I'm gonna be doing another juicer, and you know that's when I'm doing the little chit chat. I told you guys when I get ready to do the juicer, I'll do a chit chat with you. I've been doing the juices, but like I told you, I was doing mostly the carrots and celery. I had a big bag of celery and carrots, and I was just mainly using that. And since I had already showed you guys one using the celery and the carrots, I wasn't gonna keep on coming on showing you the same thing. And I also asked you guys to send me some combination of fruits and vegetables that you mixed together, that you was getting your juice from, that had health benefits from it. And thank you guys that sent me some, that sent some to me. And then plus my daughter, she was I read she went online and she found me a couple of well, she gave me a recommendation because she knew I like beets, and I had one of my subscribers to give me one, just give one with beets. So let me tell you what we're gonna be doing, and then I got something else I want to share with you guys. The juice I'm gonna be doing today is I'm gonna be using beets and citrus fruits. I got some lemons and I got some oranges here. I got the peel on the orange, and I wasn't sure what my juicer said about the orange peels. If they're really thick, like if you're gonna use like an orange and grapefruit, if that peel is kind of thick, you're supposed to peel it. But if it's just a regular orange, and which this is not a regular orange, this is a navel orange, I don't think it's too thick. If it is, I'm just gonna try to bypass it. And I got some lemons, cause I got some ginger roots in here too. My daughter was telling me that's good. Now she knows like the back of her hand all this the health value and all that stuff. And like I said, I just trust her, and I don't be looking it up and researching it. I just remember what she tell me, and that to use it and that it's good. And she said that the citrus fruits and stuff really help combat the this virus that we are dealing with now. And she also told me that when she in that smoothie, now in one of the videos that she put up for me with the smoothies, she said this guy had left her a comment, was talking about this I'm gonna call it concoction, for lack of a better word, that you can mix up and steam it, let it come to a boil and steam it, and then you inhale the vapors, or the vapors can be around in your house or whatever, and it combats the virus. And I told her, I said, that makes a lot of sense because, you know, if you have dealt with sinus problems and stuff down, like I have down through over the years, that steam and hot stuff like that, it really helps you. But I'll let her, when she come back, I'll get her to tell you more about it. And let me tell you something else I did, guys. I was out in my storage shed, and I found this little box. It was a little small box, and I did have it labeled old cookbooks. So I went in there. I was looking through it, and I haven't finished looking through it. I left it all out in the shed, but I just went in there and got out a couple of the books. You know, I showed you guys in an earlier video where I had submitted some recipes for a church cookbook, and I used to collect cookbooks. I can't say collect, but if I had friends, clients, or whoever, if they church would put out a cookbook, I would always support them by buying a cookbook or whatever souvenir book that they would be putting out for their church anniversary. So I have several of those. Even my husband on his job, some of his co-workers used to, they church would put out a souvenir cookbook for the church anniversary. So I have some of those now, but I found one of the cookbooks that I found is really an older book, and I'm going to show it to you guys. That was my telephone. It never fails to ring when we having a video. Hold on just a second, you guys. Let my husband deal with that. If it rings back again, I don't know who it's for. Okay, one of these cookbooks is a church cookbook, and it's cherished recipes. I got this one? It's shown in the camera?
Yes, it's shown.
Okay, this book was I got this book in 1989, and I was looking through it, and it's very interesting. And I used to read these cookbooks and stuff all the time and try recipes. Y'all, I have tried a whole lot of recipes in my days. And I was looking back through it, and I said, I said, the Lord must have brought me to this book. It has lots of recipes in here for mostly primitive type cooking, you know, where it don't take it's simple ingredients in it. And like I said, I have tried several recipes. What is this pinwheel? Now my daughter-in-law makes this, but this is a different type of pinwheel. You make that with biscuits and cold water. But one thing that I wanted to note, okay, you got some beef and dumplings. We always heard of chicken and dumpling, but never heard of beef and dumplings. That's neat. I'm going to have to look over that and try it and tell you, and maybe something that I will share with you guys. Because I remember when I was younger and we was living in the country, you know, I told you guys my dad had raised a garden, he had 2 spots what he did for planting the food for the family. And he used to plant, you know, in the springtime, it was like a cold weather vegetables. He used to plant the garden peas. Some people call them, you know, a lot of people call them English peas or green peas now, but when we was growing up, they was called garden peas, and they would be about one of the first things with the potatoes and stuff that would come, that you start harvesting. And my mama used to put she used to put dumplings in her garden peas. How many of you guys have had garden peas or English peas, whichever one you want to call it, that had dumplings in it? Now that was good eats. That was so good. You know, I always have been a big vegetable lover, and I definitely love dumplings, and my mom was always putting dumplings in something. And just leave me a comment if whether you have you ever had garden peas with dumplings in it. And I know some of my older subscribers knows probably exactly what I'm talking about. It is so good. Okay, I was just gonna show you this here cookbook, church cookbook. I got this in 1989. And this one right here, you guys, I'm not sure where I got this one from. I might have gotten it at a thrift store, or someone gave it to me, or whatever. I probably, if I can go back and search my memories, I would probably know. I mean, I probably can remember where I got it from, because there's a lot of older ladies know that I used to love cookbooks back in the 70s and 60s, and they would give me cookbooks and different recipes and all that. And I think this cookbook is from 1965, and I was looking through it and looking at some of the recipes and stuff in there. And I was noticing with all the pies, I was just checking over, trying to see, comparing the pies to nowadays as to back then. But just about every pie in here, you had to do your own pie crust. Those women back in those days made their own pie crust. And lemon meringue. Now for the ones that like meringue, I'm not a fan of meringue, because when I was younger growing up, my mama used to, with all her pies, she used to do her own pie crusts, and she put that meringue on there. And I just never have been a big fan of meringue. She would make lemon pies and chocolate pies and coconut pies, and she would even make, if I'm not mistaken, I can remember her making sweet potato pies and would have a meringue on it. And as we got older, everybody was saying, well, we don't like that meringue on the sweet potato pie. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And it has a lot of bean recipes in here, rutabagas, and all the food that, like, if you kind of, I see what it say, a rice croquette. Rice croquette is probably like a salmon croquette. Whatever. You know, I can't pronounce a lot of things right. But anyway, I'm gonna be looking back through this, through my books and stuff, and see can I find some recipes that we can share. And nowadays, I think everybody needs to kind of sort of take heed to what we are going through, and still going through it. You know, knowing how to cook certain things, like beans and chickens and rice and stuff that's you can really make a meal out and be, you know, have some nutritional value to it and be full and all that when you have limited food and not everything that you was accustomed to having now. Because like I say, when I started cooking, when I learned to cook, you know, we didn't, a lot of this stuff we have now, we didn't have it. That's the reason I know how to prepare dishes with a lot of stuff with, you know, just your basic seasoning and all that. And you wouldn't believe how good the stuff was now. You don't, because if you put too much seasoning and I mean different spices and stuff in your food, you really covering up the natural flavor of your meats and vegetables. And this is something else I really want. This is what I really wanted to show you guys. Is I got this where they can see it, Tucker. This here stove on there.
Your hand on it.
Huh? My hand on it?
No, that's good. Oh, right there.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
If you see this stove, guys, this is the stove. This is the type of stove that I first learned to cook on. This is the kind of stove my mother had. This here was back in the 60s. And then when my daddy bought her an electric stove, she had him to put it in the corner for a while because she didn't really like it. She had a beautiful old iron stove. You put wood in it, and it had all those. Excuse me, y'all guys. You guys. I think that's where we get the name. You know, when people say, we say burners now, but these we used to call them eyes on the stove. And then now her stove was different. She had another part up there to it where I think they call that the warmer. And they always kept a kettle on there with boiling water. Back in the days, the cooks, when they was cooking stuff, when they was cooking food, they always put an iron kettle on with water. So when they were doing beans or whatever that they was cooking, if the water cooked down low in it, they would always use the water in that kettle that was already warm or hot or whatever. They never put cold water in there to continue cooking stuff once they had to add water to stuff. Okay. There's a lot that I can tell you guys about this back in the days type cooking, and I probably would share it on down the line, because I'm trying to get it together to bring you guys the little chit chats and stuff like I used to, but I mean, like I had said I was, but it's gonna have to be little short ones, because my my camera, I don't have the, you know, I don't have the latest of equipment, but I have what I have. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead on and get ready, and let's do this juice. Let me wash my hands. Is I'm all up in the camera? Well, how can I get over to that? They understand. Y'all excuse me, guys. I'm working in a tight spot. I don't have a space. I got a space, but we don't have the plug where I can, you know, like in the spot where I made the chicken and dumplings at. That's where he could be in front of me doing it, but my kitchen is shaped. I don't know what shape you would call this here kitchen. I reckon you would call it an L shape. So, seemed like it was something else I meant to tell you guys, but I can't remember it. So I'm gonna go ahead on and get started on the juice. But and let me I'm gonna end the video before I get started, because once I do the juice, I'm just gonna take a sip of it, and then that'll be the end of the video. So let me tell you, I appreciate you come watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed the little chit chat. And if you're new and haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to it and hit that notification bell to be notified. I would thoroughly appreciate it. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you guys. If nothing happened next week, I'm going to start back either this weekend. I'm going to start back bringing you you know, recipes and stuff, because last week when I went into the grocery stores, it was better stocked than it was. You know, I mean than it had been, because you know, one while the shelves and stuff were just bare. Everybody was in trying to get what they was trying to get. But I think now that people are just beginning to, you know, think about things, and this is soaking in as to what we are going through, they're not, you know, not as panicky as they was. I can understand people being as panicked as they was, because, you know, that was something scary. It was something that we, you know, we never been faced with it before. So I was able to get some ingredients and stuff, and you know, it made me felt just happy to see that the grocery stores was, you know, back like they normally be. Now you had certain things that was out, and I believe what's with that, you know, like the disinfectant and all that, because they had tissue and paper towels and all that stuff. But you know, I think they're just sort of limiting what they're putting on the shelf, because you know, people is just gonna do the most, and some of them is probably going in there getting certain items to try to sell at a higher price in times like this. they thinking about trying to profit and don't even know, like they can't be one of the ones that affected by the virus and they don't get to do, you know, don't get to sell a darn thing. Because, you know, it's something just as, you know, the devil gonna get in everything. And he was already in this. And so I'll be starting by doing my recipes and it's thundering and stuff out the door. And this is one more thing that I want to tell you guys. You know, I always got to say that there's one more thing. Well, anyway, you know, when I had my husband to do that little Hurricane Lana demonstration, just really telling you guys that, you know, those lanterns worked real good. They will like if I have it in my bedroom or here in this kitchen, it's just like I have a light on, just a light on when your lights is out. I had to use that again. When was that, Gary, we lost power?
Sunday night into Monday?
Yeah, Sunday night, lost power for about almost 24 hours. But it went out overnight. I was here at the house by myself, but it went out. So we was all, the forecast had already said the weather was supposed to be bad. So before my husband left for work, he put the lantern out and put the batteries and stuff in them. And those batteries that I had been taking them out and been using them. I hadn't, I had been had them batteries for about how long? About a couple of years or better.
Probably.
So, but normally when the lights flash out and everything, it don't stay out long, and they come back on, and you know, I don't have to use the lantern that long. And then in the daytime, you got the daylight, you really don't have to burn it. So I burned it all night because I dropped off to sleep with the lantern on, and so the batteries went dead, so we took those batteries out. I got to get some more batteries for it because the weather really is kind of bad today, and that's one thing that I think those lanterns are so good for. You know, I have this so many people down in this area have lost their home, and some of them lost their lives, like when they lose electricity with bad weather, because we live in an area that's prone for tornadoes and hurricanes, and they be using candles and forget about them, and space heaters and all that. Candles and space heaters, they are very dangerous. That was one of the reasons I was wanted to share with you guys about that lantern, because when we got our kids the lantern when they went off to college, I warned them about candles.
Go.
Okay, my camera went out. My husband said he knew it was keeping warming, that it was about usually warming when it was about to go out. But anyway, I'm gonna finish what I was telling you about that. Yeah, candles is so dangerous, and if you can get those lanterns and stuff, they are so much better, and you will absolutely be surprised how much light it gives out. I had one subscriber to leave me a comment and said she had those lanterns, but that tip that I told about how I save the batteries and don't leave the batteries in the lantern because they will corrode. She said she was gonna, you know, she was gonna do that, but I had to use that lantern right after we did that video, and something else I was gonna tell, I forgot it now. Sorry, I'll tell it in the next video. So let me get ready and go ahead on and do this juice, you guys. Yeah. Make sure I got this up there right.
Got your glass.
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God. That's all right. Ease it off. Kitchen towel, because that now This beet juices don't have that red spot in it forever.
It's smelling good. Smell that citrus, that orange and lemon.
I love beets. Maybe I should have cut it up a little smaller. Is that stuff shooting out the back of it?
It's going in the container. Most of it, and some of it's not.
I don't want to dye everything back there because it's beets, like I said. Hey, that's what people used to use in red velvet cake years ago, turn them red. So I heard. Like pepper beets. That's one of my favorites. I love beets. My daddy used to grow them, and then nobody really liked them but me and my mom. It's gonna make it a whole mess, but that's alright. I'll clean it up. Did I tell you guys I'm gonna put some ginger roots in there? You know when I did the ginger roots in my other one, that stuff was hot. I like to say it, woo! I like to say the ugly word when I first drunk some of it. But it was a good hot. I liked that. I like that little hot spicy.
Glass is about full.
It is. Okay, you guys, I still got some more fruit left. I'm gonna finish all this up, but I'm gonna finish it up off camera. See what happened to my little claw? That's all right too. Usually my husband see me when I'm making a mistake. Let me take a little sample of it. This is about the only thing y'all will see me sampling is some drink. I would like, some people said they wanted me to see me tasting their food. I'm like, I don't think so. This is not a mukbang channel. And I showed it what it looked like. Isn't that a beautiful drink? Okay, let me try it, you guys. I don't want to be surprised now by this taste. Ooh, oh my God, this is so good. Y'all, this is a great combination. I'll be drunk all that. So I got to share it with my husband. We're gonna make another one after we cut the camera off. But okay, you guys, y'all remember to stay safe and continue to pray for our leaders and pray for this country. You know, in the scripture it tells you that we are supposed to pray for our leaders, the leader of the country, your city, and whatever. And you see the importance of it now. Because, you know, really and truly, they are the one in charge and make the decisions when we get in a crisis like this. They are going to be the one to make the decision whether you like them or not. That's the reason God told us to pray for them, because He can handle. He'll protect us. So I will see you guys in my next video. Take care and be safe. And they may love you guys. Bye-bye.